Welcome back, everyone. This is a follow-up video. We just went into Guitar Center here in Chattanooga, here in southern Tennessee, and it was almost another bust. I came about a month ago and tried to do some trade-ins on 3 amplifiers, and like I said, they didn't go very well. I ended up taking all 3 back home with me because they either said they had too many of one, which is a line 6 Spider 5. It was a 60 watt, and then they tried to lowball me on a Fender amp, and then they only want to give me about 30% of what the used value I saw others they had. And then the other one, after looking at it, it was a older PV. First they said they wanted to look at it, and then they changed their mind, so that was up to them, and that's fine. But this particular one, the only thing that I went in with on the previous video that you'd see is the Vox VT40X, and I did my research before I went in and tried to show them as far as where things were selling, and they're selling them for, $249 and things like that. Well, they told me that it would only go for $179. Now, the only thing I will concede is it was the correct power supply, but it was an aftermarket power supply. So the original one was gone, so I went ahead and let that one go for $90. And in saying that, I thought when they bought gear, they used to advertise that they did 60% of what they sold it for. So I guess that has gone to 50, which I get it, inflation, all that kind of craziness. Orange wood they didn't take. This thing's beautiful. This is all wood, and it has a torrefied top on it. And they said they never heard of orange wood. I don't know. I guess, I couldn't find, I guess they couldn't find one that was done. I tried to show them, just like the rest of these, that they had them on the internet and what they were going for. They said they've never heard of orange wood, so they passed on it. The Michael Kelly, they couldn't find the Enlighten series, which this is the Enlighten 55, and you can see where they have the holes that they put in, to lighten the body. That's part of their series, but they put it in as a standard Telecaster, so they only wanted to give me $90 for this thing, and I pulled it up, tried to show them, that they're selling these things for $399 used on their own site, and they were saying $179 for this is what they'd sell it for, even though on Guitar Center used they've got the same exact one with the same flame top for $399. The Void, they didn't like the Void. I guess it wasn't their style. So I don't know if whatever the buyers here, I've never heard of them before turning something down, because of the style. Now, maybe they didn't like the EMGs. It does have active pickups in it. I'm not sure. Same thing with this Nash Vegas. They couldn't find anything that was Nash Vegas. They were trying to tell me this was an Avalanche. We even looked up the Avalanche together, and everything they had was Strats. There was no Tele body shape. And for my knowledge, leave it in the comments. I appreciate it. The only thing I've ever seen that's a Tele shape is a Nash Vegas. But that's what happened there. So they wanted to do it as a standard TS style. And there again, they wanted to give me $90. So I guess that's their famous fancy thing here is everything's $179. So they wanted to do $90 on the Dean Nash Vegas. They didn't want the PV. It is a unique shape, but the Void 2 at all. This they wanted to do as a standard Telecaster and said it would go for $179 and offered me $50. And this, they'd never heard of orange wood, so they didn't want an orange wood. So if anybody else has had similar luck going on right now with Guitar Center, like I say, I came a month ago and didn't sell them anything, and then I came in here with better odds, I guess. I came in with 4 guitars and an amplifier, and I decided I didn't want to go home with everything, and said I'll just take the $90, and I conceded that it was an aftermarket power supply, and that may ding down the value of it a little bit. But please leave your comments, like, share, subscribe.